FM. Ease FM.
Yeah.
104.3. Good to meet
A positivity.
Hey, wow, winning.
The ebullient. What's then?
I'm not demanding pay your son, yes, sir.
Igwefo.
Adum. Adum. With him, Uncle Pombo in Abon, we be Abonam Huina and see. I'm in another room. And they pay Huina, Mojers are full son. Oh, home. Huina, what I say.
Amen. Yema Kwabanso.
Hey, Janko.
James Kwabna Bonfe.
My brother.
A.K. Kabila.
My big brother Kwame Sefa Kai.
Machien.
Yenya.
Srewenya.
Edem.
Srewenya.
Yatim kwamwi na ye wadi nyina.
Amen.
Ya do hwira no te ya do komorwa.
Eno say den.
Aha. Yatim kwamwi. Ye oni ye woni na. Chamandina.
Kwabna Bonfe.
Ye da nyame ase.
Amen.
Oni ye diniye papa.
Amen.
Say Ghana da so te ase. Na de osefo no enwino ye edwene ye etu ho na mo ni nyina akogu efom ebi dida so na wiemu de enso minim say nyame adi nkunim dada challenge na na me fa ncha so nkoma ye chief patron
Wednesday chief.
Yeah. Still Ivamens. Challenge na chano sronko na me fa sa kwan yi so emma belated birthday wish
to
enkoma His Excellency
Yes.
former President John Ajekum Kufuor Papa
86
me ne obedi kakra I was there virtually the whole day.
Oh, I see.
Yes from morning to evening na birthday we enya na ni jemu sa so
oh, man,
you know he's a strong man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or the politics na say papa.
Seasoned.
Who visa who can be at no ma the ebema wanya ahokeka ma wate ase say we live. Na ye tiasi no e nipa adasanti. Nti ni philosophy grounded in humanity. E ya dia Kwame. As say the biara da no at 86.
Yeah.
One ne kasa adwene no mu do eda so da fine. Na Kwame nani no so de
ohun bibi
say ohun ana oboni paridi papa me chawa no pay na how do you say interestingly one Mrs. Sandra Brobe Bonfe share birthday
oh yeah. Interesting.
December 8 it was well,
a glorious day in your home.
Yes.
December 8th, Alexander Kwesi Akwan's birthday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, December 8th. And I would hey, Akwesi said this is no 50 I think so. Anyway.
I'm also mentioning Papa. He's a great Ghanaian.
That's right.
Yeah.
Na Nkransham my Papa. Kwame, how he conducted himself in office and leaving office, the huge stature. And see, I bring oye imiam the man. And see, Papa, then I make sure and feel poor, the word Tracy. Now, what is womb? Yamo Tassi. Tasa na kodwa na for winyam pate o mind
yeah
afenko na umbra na mboto e mo tinkwa papa
John Ajekum Kufuor at 86. Right. Nyame eni adana se
two words Kwame.
Yeah.
Exemplary president, exemplary former president. His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor.
Yes.
Esquire.
Papa. Kwamina.
Yes, sir.
The morning after the night before. Obi bisa de obana den. Mete, me hui, me kan ansana, me kan dano, me kan azichin, ene me be kan na pay. Obana den.
Yo,
my items now, I mean, they're line by line.
And I pay my mention from Kokrokoo and I'm in chair.
Mejodo?
wetefo empem nkankan finfirmanto mofo na menja Abdul Malik Kokuba ku junior anape okweku be meshe bia micho na kwame
na
mamamfa we free kasido na mumbo Ghana man nyina ya bawdo de aya me ndi a we twomi yetu ana mo no yetu na asomdwem akwa me mabo ha ba de wen oya da oya me inje da na pe metra yedo onye me inje ni sense de me amanye ku a modom nkwimizi amba hafo yonu kra I mean honestly mpoma quick owa ye MPP are team ma mo hu nhye bibia if you want to win why is it that you don't want to lose? It is a twin enterprise. You lose sometimes, you win sometimes. In MPP bia kona hye biara ma mo hu ma mama yi on shawdo oya ayroho kakra na ode abrabo okodo nti ma mama on shawa wo krado on shawdo kra so wo so hu owura da motwe na wa ka to de abatu da obobo mo wa kede yezi nkuyim yi wankwe yi aman da medana na nhihia ahase a yeze ko aba owo hyenyim nti owu biara ye MPP ni mese mresho nkran de ma wesi ongura wa bam on shawodo Jina pinti na yansan so nhya asembo boyan ho mfonhwe 2028 kwame this one is in parenthesis na mameka da na onye da menyu age dem wesi even though Ghana for akwakoto aben na kwame you are a voter.
Yes,
a true patriot, a true Ghanaian
indeed.
When you age there yetu abewe sasha bakadama on my rebels they take over. Rebels. Sasha pa fitidanu kwesida. Kwame kwesida na na bankran. Mudu ai kwan be moye ya wo friend budumrum wabo amna kasepa the home there it is for either
it looks like a flyover.
When quoting spend close to 1.5 hours.
Benta.
And this is why Japan Sunday. Why Japan? No control. Nana mean there. Oh yeah. Eyi na wa ba wa kwem. Na onu kwan bo ya no kwan there. Eyi ja ba wa kwem na age ka kwan abodo. Na beyond Sunday bapemende beyond Sunday ofidano consider 8 December bapemende omai se obia obaka no kwa bia oidama rebels rebels ni eche etu trafa what to akwama aida de ikron oman no fa baby abade wonsem ana oman na abade wonsem rebels Kwame de ya koto aba civil duty mpayinfo a wobezi hanyim akekere oman na kwa ya fayin de dodon manwanu bakwan eho na tumin oman tumin ya be hye wonsem ane de aman yakua emumom na abanda mu adi nkunyimin electoral commission officers mu twajatum hwemwesi wadamongo hwema wesi wo frana say ayipe ni constituency
ayenso ano oya
MP sitting MP na we losing oyi site ne nkofo say don't tunjia kwame several places ada woruwia warehouses are wobukum woka yinu ndama this is supposed to be a civil action, a civil duty. Cast your ballot just to see who then become our leaders. This is the result. Kwame, the Aba yero kwa koto na hunsu saduni. She lido sadina ansa. Headquarters, Ghana Harbours,
Ports and Harbours.
Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. And that, Mesha Baby na Metzida was so Wabokon the Tunko, Ekodu Ghana Gas. I said that everywhere that they decide, I'm wondering whether the next place will not be the Jubilee House. The Ghana we want. We were told, unite together for the Ghana we want. This is the Ghana we want. That we are resetting Ghana. This is how we reset Ghana. Amazing. Amazing. Now, in Chemususude, those who have always had their voice count, always. As for NDC leadership, and then former President Mahama,
President-elect
Kwame. I knew before I said this that you were going to say President-elect.
Of course, President-elect.
But Kwame, say it is an uncontroverted fact that he's a former president. The reason he's incapable of a second term. So for his legal and constitutional status, anybody who refers to him as a former president is perfectly right. It is because he's a former president. That is why he's incapable of a second term. Into that one, you can't take that title or the legal status from him. And for me, for as long as I come on this big platform, my reference to him is former President Mahama. A reminder that was just a 4-year term. And it is because he's a former president. Whereas you may decide to want to refer to him as a president-elect, and I'm sure eventually the president, I am equally right when I say former president. The basis for his own inability to put himself up for a re-election. Good. That's fantastic. NDC leadership and former President Mahama. I was hoping that in Chemohu and Sisebi, but the indicators don't point to that. I thought I could be hopeful. I thought
he's called for Carl.
Kwame, when did he do that? Are you able to tell me when he did that?
2 days ago. Let me check.
Are you able to tell me? Kwame, they had been sacked up. The NDC had been sacked up, whether good or bad. They were going to visit him. Because see, when he was interviewed, there, I say, I prepared there, Abana Rokwan, Nkukuba, Bajatum. As I done Mamijitum. I done Mamijitum were on your transparent. I done Mamijitum were on your intimidation. And see, from the very outset, he was not ready to tell the Ghanaian people there sovereignty resides in you. And in that interview, he was not forthright. He was not forthcoming. They take a cue from it. Says, come here, I can assure you that there are the hawks among them. What could not from there? But allow them, let them vent out. And I'm sure there are even the hawks who are even inciting them to do further, to go further, to target some other areas. Because come here, sir, obi in Shangwechi, one Shangwechi. Want to munya the Makukudru. The baby mother wants me to walk a attack. Ya to a bow. A back a care. There, you did painful. No society. No society. It's it. Mama Chris doing that. Oh, yeah, a fleeting illusion. This 4-year term is a fleeting illusion.
But police for why you then?
Kwame.
Criminal. Bambo for why you man? Yeah.
My brother Kakraba IGP me pension. My brother Kakaba Dr. Akufu Dampare. My bonabado and she share oh yeah before enduring. Na no question no question pa the mekacho anka murder. Pa the wangasa. Ehwe o intelligence information ainya enama wesisi all of that. I'm sure you will be number one to have these matters come to your attention on post-election security issues. I think that IGP post-election.
They are to Abaneri.
Kwame, and I'm telling you that many Ghanaians have been on the tenterhooks. Many.
Nothing them.
So that my worry, uncle, that was a bangasa. Who I will drive for car, crowd and kahun. Sometimes we ask, is this route safe? People are asking. Are they coming to our area? People are asking. They are to Aberia. We find ourselves in a state of insecurity. Is that what it is? That's what baby. Yeah, painful. In a state of insecurity, you are uncertain where you can go, where you cannot go. Yeah, to baby. And see, about none to in the nature somehow where could do the last 4, 5, 6 days. Brother, this Makacho, I have been forthright on this big platform. One more to IGP, Juma, this period that you have been in office. But no question, Makacho, murder there. Yet to a my NDC, my wire, what good warrior. On pa them catch there. Ankoye.
ABC 8 years ago, 2016, your then party chairman Freddie Blay once one for free to trust him, he justified it. Said they were protecting state property.
Kwame
now.
I concede that 2016-17, there were some of our party persons who had rushed on toll booths, had rushed
Adome Bridge,
yes. The scales are not the same, but whatever it is condemnable. I remember quite clearly, Dangote issued a statement out there. Dangote condemned it and asked the police, the security, to be on the alert to deal with such persons. And it was quick. Dangote issued. Kwame, I remember after the elections, I remember and this matter had broken. I've been on toll booths in Adome Bridge. And I didn't understand why Adome Bridge. What for? But Kwame, asam insinda me yensuade mfima. Asam onsinda me yensuade mfima. And especially so when you have been a president before, when you gave assurances to the Ghanaian people there, what position are querying? President Nadi na position is the assurance them a P. Assurance them a P. And so Abba upon introspective reflections. And so P Abba Motherban or your fofo. You gave these assurances to the Ghanaian people. And so anybody comes on the stage and then begins to justify what we are seeing the last 4 or 5 days on the basis there 2016 you have some MPP people attack toll booths and then also go to the Adobe Bridge. That was condemnable. That was unacceptable. If you compare the scales, they are not the same. But whatever it is, state property, whatever, they are not attack. But we don't learn, we don't move on. Accra, Sadina. So, one of the municipalities. So, Frejo, so, television. Kwame, enormous. Mbesa this for what kobo tonkuma obia ro sua korife. Obia northern region. I've seen 2 or 3 videos, sir. We break into warehouse. Some more, say Shito, say Wafana, a go. Na Kwame. Jesus. Otherwise, Kwame, if this is what it is, I don't see why then we must even worry and bother our heads over going to the polls to do elections. If that is what it is, if this is what it is, that after elections, the days after, people will become insecure, will feel insecure. Then there's no justifiable reason. They cannot, forgive me, any sensible basis why we should go to the polls. Now, that said, what somehow the Abonipo first transitional meeting today. President Kufuor Mahama confer. That is normal. That is what must happen. The Kwame. Ya to aba mbrano so ho there. Say even if it was Owura Baumia na nkwimiziba na afom kra. The law requires the yebenya transition team. Owura Baumia ba paw mpemfo. Na president na no so rekwan wa paw mpemfo. Na watena. Na ejuma we bezi nyina na ho hihye kratia oda ho nyina we benya kwan na wa chechirem idaha iya meye koduni na ntasi biara so nyi ho a omampan fufuru na aye yinin ne dom na wa po hon obotum na ebisa mo amanchachirem aba wa mama oye transition ifi that dem aba fufuru min wa ma wa kudududududududu omampan fufuru wadi ngogu na pempem a onye da nenyodo bayan totototo onhu be monfa na eda mowo isuma orekeka enti ensesea 2012 2012 urade kwa amna danka 2012 ensesea ye de botugwa oya mbra sesia abibiara afibiara ye boto abibiara afia na bia ye boto abibiara oya nhihye odo ho a ode ye enti no kwado pepepe na kwami ansa na motodo mamumbo Owura Bawumia abado mumbo na abado papa kwabra don't worry kwa ndo no emro yo pio no da wa no papa saboteur ai emro yo ti free range kwa emro che enti no your bonus the or your Christmas bonus me na me prekasa wo so prekasa Enti mawano
pekasa chebi.
Well, Master
Bibi konusesi.
Pekasa chino.
No, just for the attention of the police IGP
and then the for to go.
Friend then Kufuridwa.
Kwabena manesu kakra.
There's an attempt to impede electoral commission for regulation of certain constituencies. Suhum Akwetia Frontier North and in Sawum Aduajiri. Intimate police sahine any soldier sahine CDS. Say, please. And Mr. President, you are in charge. Just for clarity.
I'm information.
But talking about armed forces, Brigadier General Agri Kwashi at the statement be to her. Okay, Major must say, oh, time no swan.
Yes, to the extent say, armed forces, Ghana armed forces, I issue statement say. You threaten one, you dare one more. They will respond in equal measure. No,
I'm say lethal force.
Yes, lethal force. We are lethal. Not just a what
that means is that Omanutum on yada yimpe people tum ye jina ho we twa afado. Yan hozen o jina bambo hihiem. Han hozen ho no jina. Na Kwame dem na make am say me bo bawomia na bado. In fact on chebia you will be honored one day very soon. Our dearest Bawumia, this morning my words are that you will be honored. The Ghanaian people will honor you one day very soon. Sure, Kwame ne fair mana. Ne fair in there. Inche ya twoma ya to abewe na ho atumi hye ho nsem. Na wadi botugwa. Na wache no nsunsun ado ma okore. Nso payini Ose Maraza menhun sa woso na se hu a wo bra na aseso a hu a ade ne tintim na hu na wada abefom nti onye za magina mpo ma twon e ma akoda bo ma ni ma hu hyehyehye mankasa. Did we have this of other persons? Did we have this of other persons? Sanda the what the kuima and the onya da wo hwom and the sem kuim de ba ho afama and the onya da obaka kire one crofo there one mass up and what they have tutored them to do in the past. That is exactly what they are doing today. 2020 Kwame yewe ya oka che ho there they should mass up specific constituencies are or your coalition centers mass up at those points. E mo nam do e ma police soldier you say I'm wanting there or has said that they are bombing and the unfortunate death which resulted. They have always said that they are going to what? Investigate. Are you going to add the mayhem, the violence being visited on Ghanaian institutions and the Ghanaian people? Are you going to add these other things which are happening in your investigation, so-called investigation? Are you going to add these? You ask yourself the most thing. Mawumbu from a turn the morning our coalition center says I want ye said them kobna da batugwa za warye wo suhum za warye wo fana kofodwa sawom za warye nyina Kwame. It is because of the things you asked them to do in 2020. Are you going to add all of this in your so-called investigation? Kwame. Oh yeah, a long range for us. Mamumba no po say siara. Na mama problem because sadin obatawa kokopa na say ya. Or what na mama problem na in opportunity. Second round. Other set of issues are onu oye looking into the 4 years ahead of us. Onu ho na medema hodin medijina but rounding it up. Kwame, that the elections went the way they did. I mean, my but to a quick understanding. There, Yankupon no imza, oh yeah. Yankupon now console the young to me, Miss and Wansam. Yankupon a sum, Christo sum, Mejizi, Chade. Mobe Sibiara, Mobe Biara, young fan that some for man. Nti kwame impade hadwunum yantasim ebia yantase ebia yantase wo sentira obandam nanso obo aja onu ehunta nsam nyina wonanyim onyim sentira onam duma obandam nti nyina min kwame yamfa ndase yamfa ma yankopon mawesi dadu miminde na mo hyenyim yankodo na fi yamfa kwame resting my case for now and get my brother on and then have the opportunity to come back. That's it.
Kwame Dankane does say a few messages here. This one says all these are happening because of the winner takes all system we are working with. Let's take a second look at it and amend the constitution to allow competence and professionalism rule. If care is not taken, our democracy will be ruined by this act. Kweku Afre in Amrahia. Much as I agree with Kwame Duncan numbering the distraction down to the state, let us not do so with anger. After all, the battle is still the Lord's. Uncle Spy in Tadi. Majority of those who voted against MPP was because of Ken Oforiatta. Every financial policy introduced left Ghanaians impoverished. E-levy, withdrawal of disabled persons and hawkers from the toll booth, DDEP, betting tax, job security, and our brethren at the banks. Kwame in Adenta. Nana Kwame Boateng says, why is the police not being proactive with their intelligence to foil what the NDC hoodlums are doing? The military should be deployed to protect state institutions. Odishi Ajabeng in Hacho says, looking at the violence we're experiencing, we should thank God for what Dr. Baumia did. It could have been worse. I am of the view that in future there's no need for the coalition center. At least all the parties were able to get their figures on their own without a fight. I think going forward, the presiding officer should give the pink sheet to the party agents to be taken to their constituency offices and let them do their collation there. It is as simple as that. 19 minutes past 9. Kwara?
Brapani.
Meet you.
Nyedi kai me pese me de asida kese ma pa ma Nyankopon. One o my Ghana di ni ye kwoto abai nyina ye bompae. Ye bompae kane de ma Ghana o my na sumdwe. Se abato abaye to no nsunsanso bi ebekọ no. Nyame ma sumdwe entina. Kwame ye mu binum ne ye bompae a ye bompae se nyame ma desrede anie. Anso open na nye ho se de Yesu yaje nkwa no bompae. Me ogide ni arehemu se anka amman se de ba ye yi a kakra mahu yi kire se Kwame nka Ghana basabasa yasi
Alain.
Oh na wadi nkunimpo ena wo sese niema yi wadi nkunimpo ena de yedi di nkunim no wo hye no yi me ne wo kasa mprempren I have for no north. Nana Ajiman Prempe. Ono woni kole ni pink sheets a e just a wedding kunim. And so electoral commission into me boy.
Alain.
Because NDC candidate no ne nkrofo say ya mpene ma no mbo. Obosi East. Incumbent MP na o wini o sign wini biom no. Ya de no share dem ma no sign krata say wedding kugo.
Why didn't they share them?
The security personnel there and then the NDC representatives. Your life or the position. Kwame. Many will say Okankwe Central. Senior Patrick.
Osio court.
I Kwame na I pay ya to aba na police stations there what constituencies ye do. Ye then no bitimi ka say odi and what air declare results. How sometimes it's not. I mean, it has nothing to do with the law. First, the question of law, logic. So what did kunim ampa? I didn't yet do. Ya kind watchy. Me na kana. I didn't say what did kunim ampa. Oh my fan can ni ankai. Kwame woni say abana ye beto no me kan asem bi wo ha. Me kan say e wo mu say na me prefer anana me pese Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wini. Na me kwakọ ye campaign ama no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Na kwame me kan to aso say de oba boa ma nefa wo mo aba bonten abeto aba ne kese. Asre ni nyame kese no on ne bedi nkunim. You remember I said that too. Chairman General.
Kwame
Adiba ko me danyame asi wo ho pa ye. Wono mo a eye predictions a Nyankopon ama ni tumi ada di say sebi on all sides or both sides obia ni wono mo a ni nkom shabam obiara ni ho omo ka say Dr. Mahama na be wini o won ka say Dr. Bawumia na be wini o obia ni wono mo a ni predictions abam
asofo no
me na me catch up Kwame
na say bi omo ka say John Mahama na be din kunim
they gave figures. I'm telling you that obi ani hono ma o ka say Mahama ba wini a o ma figure e ba mu
Musa dankwa e bi eni ono onye sofo
na Musa dankwa de ro the figures is it they say exact
well say by research they only exact.
So I'm not even talking about the research. You know my position on polls. As a researcher I don't discount them, but my country would say media the best opinion poll is declared elections results. I haven't changed from that position. If you say the dark side of data, and they say, "Obi wet ma can't or can be biatro Kwame," and yet they won't trim no. But and yet no need the focus of my conversation.
Me too.
Me ka wo mo adi Nyankopon di kika ansamo a. Nyame a kire se. Sebi. Both sides. Sebi. Enye de me kan ye no anase enye me na me soma mo. Yenye careful. Now, Deuteronomy, Kwame. That book, almost friend the book of remembrance, Hebrew Kasamu Zaka. Ibino Sokano, Mishne Hatora, and I say Hadi Barim. The words. Okasembi Ewo, Deuteronomy 8, verse 2. Eyenema Mienu Kwame. Remember. Never forget. Kai e mo remfida. O masa niema di wani mu kan a. Niema bebre sabi mfomso enya de be repeat. Na mprempren a ye kase chamagera. December ba ye to ye no. Mpacho na nye coup d'etat. E ya dwenkyere. Figures no say they siko wie ye ho analysis message obia. This is not the time for vindication or damnation. It is time for reflection. This is the time for reflection. Or being for be a friend of say Dr. Adams Gilchrist Adams. And or yes, sermon be 1995. Drunk on the eve of reconstruction. And he used Noah. Ya wa mind chichire. Ya tu abawi. E hun susanso no ya hubi, ye hubi. Ye hubi fi say ye ma ye hu kwan say ye behu. Posi sangene. Soldier for ana banu da for electoral commission. Chairman General who say EC officials be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chere ya dia esubi maaye ewo yabakosemu under this fourth republic.
To say
Kwame, the first time that the losing candidate conceded within the period he did ahead of election declaration by the electoral commission. And now it is na chinye bi because wa. It's unprecedented, Kwame. Take 1996, take 2000, for 2004, for 2008, for 2012, for 2016, not for 2020. 2020 cried that there was no concession. Besina minu kase. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia chere say, "Amo brasiana ye mu binum di gina sukodi nechi. 2023 no, 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 20 anyonyamu a ye fi say nyame di ache no ene akokoduro wo say mpo say ya nto amba no a obeji atum no wanhu yanim ase meda na se wo ho na chairman general meka ye nyina so say mampani na na dodan kwakufo ado oda so ye Ghana mampani enti mesre no a ntempa ya
I can't bear bosumi
but ntempa ya no Mr. President, you are still in charge of the National Security Council. Don't let anybody take you for granted.
Then obey me.
Kwame, he should take charge of the security situation. Now, if you don't say Adena, former president, Mahama, why president-elect, yet to be sworn in until January 7th, on your president. And I'm sure that's the tangent and Kwamina necessary offer, but I think he made his point. Until January 7 when he's sworn in, he's not president. He's former president. So Kwamina so or refer to him as former president. The position no. And Kwame, I expect him to act as a former president.
By doing what?
By holding that office dignified, by telling his people straight in the face, say, Adiana Moya no enye munya ye. Kwame, you wakasa ye kan. I can tell you that. Near Kosono, it was based on the previous command given by the party head. Na say many free anchor Asia Asempa FM. Before the elections. Kwame, and I make us a midanya say, His Excellency the former president, and they declared the president elect. Because if it had been Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Kagana Sumbi and Waka, and I thank God for it, for choosing the peace of Ghana over the win, a possible win for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. A rehearsal, Kwame, a rehearsal, sir, the simultaneous attack. When you said that Damango, many of which Napoleon is still hanging.
He's been declared.
They have finally done it.
Yeah.
Good. What happened? I don't know. Say you're shipping sheets. I don't think say you're shipping sheets. Kwame. Oh, we near. Don't think say so because I'm a say that man go crowd there. Election official baku. Oh.
Me ni meno.
Why? Kwame. To me, politics. Among yourself. But you enye to me die any ahunyanti ne yeye e o man chichire na say ye chichire man a yen kan hu say e abotre aboju chere any kan na minka bi enye ntokwa
Kwara ebiso aka say e wom say NDC ne di nkunim ne akoso ne bi aka so mo say NDC for na ye but obehwe no ebi ana nipa boni fo bi so ade omo haji.
Let me correct the first statement. NDC ni nkunim bia Ghana na di nkunim.
Well, you can about 20 NDC di nkunim.
Yes, let's correct that narrative. Our constitution 1992 does not elect parties. Baby America and I will keep saying it. Munya mu kan be this problem. Oh, minjai.
When the constitution has made a bold provision for formation of political parties as the vehicles that people stand on to get elected. If you the political parties, you can. What are you saying?
Kwara.
Your president elect on the ticket of a party.
1, 2. Majority in parliament is on the ticket of that same party. So in terms of abaton, NDC meet
Oh, me pacho, as someone make I'm talking constitutional. I'm not expressing my view. What the law says, you elected president now. You to obey you on the ticket of a party. But president no any president representing the party as president of the republic.
That's not what we have said.
Please talk me pacho.
In 2012, when we had the presidential
petition.
NDC came in and the Supreme Court said yes. They have an interest there. So if the basis upon which you are arguing was what was to hold,
then
they would not have been admitted in
at all.
Political parties. political. This is multi-party.
You are citing. Your example is incongruous.
What is incongruous?
Kwame. Supreme Court. I will ask for the joinder application was accepted on the grounds that they sponsored the candidate who by law.
So that is their
interest. Challenge.
That is their interest. That is their interest.
Now, are you contesting what I'm saying? I said we don't elect parties. Me say, it is not political. Please. Please. Minister. Because you are all living under an illusion.
Oh, it is.
President Akufo-Addo can resign from your party and he will remain president of the republic. What are you doing? Former President Mahama has been elected into our president-elect. But until January 7, no, on your president Akufo-Addo is still president. We cannot have two presidents at the same time. And Kwame na menene ya adwene at that point, on that point. Me stress abana ye to ya nipa NDC for tanachi anadi nko si edi no ko print to me no wonya no enkyere say amanyuko no mu ma enkoye niema enye na Kwame me no ya adwene say nipa bonefo bi betimi atachire akoye ne enye eno ntina ma me din kan frɛ police sangene frɛ soldier for penny meboa before enti babia maduri eye say ye chi san krofo no a wonom so a ede obitimi kofa amanyuko edi tanachi edi tatanani enti me wofa asedun ketia general secretary Fifi Kwete former president Mahama Nankasa oye president elect Kwame almost omuntie P7 but omutie pa onim de mama hu ye
are
former president okwakoto aba no he visited his father's grave before going he needed to recant it invoking him say Onoanoka say he said he was leaving when the applause was the loudest say one can ye inti say odane no enti me kan no na me ka say wo mun kasa nkyere wo mun krofo no commander wo mun ma ye before December 7 eno so so ye hu ni no wo mun endane you can recall when you give orders you can Kwame eno you can say wo military mu o ma orders na wo fe order no back mo kan say
me nim just me bisa o mo nim say me
I want
enye bibia na me because from what I know what my order
that be omutimi frɛ back
okay obi the best send me
me just say omo enya de dane de omo de maye no if you say nobody is safe if the trend continues de me hu ya yem hyeme eye a soldier for be say ensia na brante bi a oni omo kwakọ preso
oboasi east
Kwame na soldier for yi as a omo restrain omo and I'm say eh nenti mo provoke omo no more respondo ebeko ko sisen Kwame the other important point the hawks on the other side who have been restrained by the early concession by His Excellency Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. Kwame,
correct.
More bien underestimate the other side. Opamu hufwa, otunebem. Ghana, say, didn't we have a parliament that had only 66 minority?
That was in 97.
In 97? Showed quality so far my best parliament in this fourth republic, headed by the late
J.H. Mensah.
Vintage J.H. Mensah. My papa SK Boafunane minority chief whip. Quality. Kwame. Enti 2/3 majority and a year then senke 276 mpoa na year then. Mun kombe tuma bu man. Yedi nipa na chichire man o. Kwame. Yedi nipa na chichire man. Enti mesre say moi power is exercised with magnanimity. Kwame, how many times have I said this in here?
You can't treat me saying.
yɛde ayamya ne adɔyɛ ɛne nipa ho dɔ ɛna di kuta tumi ahobrɛseɛ mu ɛnya hantan ne dwɛɛ so yɛ nyinaa yɛ Ghanafoɔ akyɛ anasɛe ebinom bae wɔm kɔ woso aba yi wobɛkɔ na deɛ ɛha me koraa ne sɛ yɛyɛ nyinaa no Kwame
Karen
ɛtigya sesia yi a ebia na ankɔwie oyie mehu video baako a bɛrima bi a ɔda hɔ no na bansere ne nneɛma ɔde abobɔ ne ho na ɔda hɔ video menim constituency ko a wɔn ayɛ voice over sɛ wunuro bebrebe no hwɛ baabi a woda ade ne sɛ yɛkɔduru saa bea no sɛ aba a yɛto so yɛba bɛsom sɛ yɛmpa faa sɛ som ne yɛba bɛsom a ne yɛkɔ so yi na ma yɛ mu binom nya nyinasoɔ bi sɛ ɔha mu nkyɛmu bɛyɛ sɛ aduokono nkono a yɛpere tumi wɔ Ghana ha ɛnyɛ som ntia na ɔman tumi wodidi agorɔ ɛbɛfa wase mɛsrɛ ɔman mu no nyinaa yɛn nyinaa yɛnkae sɛ yɛnsom Kwame ɛne nipa medase
James Kwabena for bringing the time to 22 minutes to 10 o'clock. Peace 104.3. Kokrokoo Jimedina na ye twasono. Kwabena ebise MPP's poor showing. The blame game has started. Ebise President Akufo-Addo ka ho. Ebise Moamo ka ho. It's been going back and forth. But my former flag bearer say the blame game should stop. But anyway, the MPP ship started sinking in 2020 when the party lost many parliamentary seats. Unfortunately, the leaders behaved like ostriches pretending all was well. In 2024, the ship has sunk deeper. And I dare say if drastic measures are not taken, my darling MPP will cease to exist. Some of us are heartbroken, but we hope to come back stronger. Maxwell Abokobi. Chairman General, 8 years mandate is a factor. No party can break the 8. Charles Osei Mensah, Kumasi Technical Institute. It's unfortunate that for NDC, wherever they win or lose, they resort to violence. Has there been a military coup d'etat? The president-elect should tell his people to fall back. The NDC, he says, has revolutionary roots, and when it comes to unleashing violence, no other party can beat them. Ghanaians should mark my words, nothing will come out of the arrest so far. Francis Brakwa in Kumasi. 2020, JDM gained 6.2 million of the total votes cast. Same in 2024, which means he did not really increase his votes. It's therefore safe to say Ghanaians did not vote for the NDC because they had a superior message, but MPP handed over power to them. Ben Abnori. But those who voted for the NDC are also Ghanaians. I'll blame President Akufo-Addo for a humiliating defeat. He kept about 89% of his appointees, such as CEOs, ministers, MMDCs, while Ghanaians were calling on him for a reshuffle. The reshuffle plays two main key roles. It keeps the appointees on their toes and serves the functions within the party and members. Mad Lion Ahafushidian. Citizen Francis says, just because you won elections which your opponent didn't, even wait for 24 hours to concede, you're misbehaving. There's a true definition of resetting Ghana. We're going back to the dark ages. Citizen Francis. Okay. Uncle Spy says, the president-elect once said he left Nanado with a GDP of 4.3%. We hope you do the same magic. Uncle Spy in Takrade. All right. Kwabena,
Yes, sir.
other issues that have come up, including the blame game.
Yeah, Kwame. Nchabaya Mampaibo.
There.
Then, a man for bottom tram. Kasa Otadamudo. Mampaibo. Then a Kwame. War Medua, nyame na dawro ayemo dum ma wofo mama tena wiazi mu ma baba ta abrabo ase de ya bibri na na marhwe won sabaka na batidam obrem adisia obrem mosi de mamba wiazi mu na enye wadwen de fiti kenkren to kenkren abri na bibia bokoye na mangasa ma mafum wa brabum ma mehu suahu na mehu oye za maka a chamo ho de ende obesiye ochina ni foforo baba ni nyina fa ndase ma obaze wo Nyankopon na ko wanyim enti kwa me say manka nkwechi pia na mama chain there. For me, my philosophy is that mo be sini yara man sha se mbise ho de na ofihi na ba di ntina mi wa ba ma kwem na nsunsuado maya dan na onam do madam nsunsuade aba. That is not to say there don't take stock of your life. I'm not saying that. I won't even dare to say that. In Pebia, you take stock. Nashe, ma reprimokon, baby ma, one morning to tea, no unquayin. Make a retreat. Nasa, Nashe there. But fan for fra. Ma, oh, you, oh, no, no, why dream. There, Pede Cocodin, Butumna, Eduo. But come in. I am not everybody. You won't want so. Why, Miss Assam Sinda? What's the kind? Oh,
okay, Crime 90. You say a counter order.
Counter order.
Counter order.
Okay.
Into counter order.
See, boy, you order now. Now it's not about counter now. Now it's not about counter.
Either that now somebody above him.
Somebody above, higher. Okay, all right. And see, Kwame, you won't want so. As somebody said, first and foremost, one reaction. Queen about for Dokra. As some now wasting would be yarn or Morty. And I say, you want reaction so to enchain. On your down what the Wabaja to me there, inform Nebia being puffing or the Quabia, the Washington one, on them do Madame from Waba, even where it is their own personal lives. And see, a day or so after the election, when the venerable vice president and our flag bearer made that concession, there were write-ups all over the place already. We'll blame. The mean pay. I mean, I'm telling you, see there. But was your young criminal in the Tunkan? Asam Abba. Nkugu Abba. Mayadi Yenwa come your name Saka. You must begin to see calm and cool heads. Cool heads. Mamim as party secretary, Kwame. The Abina Yaboko Abato Kasot them. Parties Yedin Kugo, Yedin Kunimon. Yede by so kubi Babada, Oshishom. Young Kumida Yedin Crampon, by so cool or the Sada, Oshishom. Na Nchiabotum Yayamu Abroda. Sir Kumidi, Sir Ocrossera, I didn't know on them or crosser. Sir Oyam Kukusa, by so cool Shishom. The sense on Namduma, Okwekasi Damanoso, whatever. Now, Mamma, you Ada on Namdomosi, ya first shadi be a film, na yer quanim, ya shaquia, able to 200 more, never made the best, sir. More young Yordon, Yansabaka. Intiminium, there, or yan toyan, uncle Tanze. Mawesi, or ya da party, painful, or baton, wapo, Besson Kubia. Obotu anamo akọ Omana fanza na nyina daba dam no woyen. Woko the entire the length and breadth of this country. Woko wanyi enwa won ha adwirimin references I be awado mo terms of references awado mo enwa nwa so wo hwa obehia obafata de wonyo obakasa wo ye dam nyina and then they put together a report. Na mpemfon ashase the mawabe now giving ourselves 4 years ahead of us, the year of election, the year before the election. Inti iba na mo na odi etu, the first year, the second year, before the third and the fourth years. Inti oyada oda hwa obaba. Na kwame into manka obi na kasa mfa nhya na akoko. Nka na anumwado na mfa plaster mfam na anodo into minyadam. Into mankada hey wonan hona na say ebusuanya asama to ebusuya na emama mframa kakampo mfa ho na ahyase owungote na repache de owungote na nyimimpa wan yan da maye wan bani breye menti de menti na mareke kaka wonan hona obi wo so a no so kwen onam do a ma waban otumudutu ya di finimuyen. It is all allowed. Na mimde empemfu botu anamoa osafata yade be sonku baba na nhwehwom papa akodo na kwame
na
they must not forget where we have come from. Yamina da Roma ya for Fourth Republic nkutimpo na mayado kwa 1992 na after 11 years of military rule na ya wenyu sumde ya dan ya fi soja ban ya da bakemam ke bia ban emmadin ba ya dishem na nkoye ya ko presidential election impa odbobo adin na hihie ya nto presidential ewe presidential say ya to parliamentary ya da man to presidential na fi senkwinza abawa afuma then your people get more encouraged and then go and vote in the parliamentary. Emma yanko sande ma yadoko presidential name de wanko ye inti yanko na yamfa legitimacy bia anko nka parliamentary oye 1992 parliament obobo ade oye without virtually you may say so without opposition na yehihye hia hwa 96 yakore 200 member parliament yenya nemu edosiasia de kwabra kan a muso menye ya adwen de in our living memory pass the parliament to bapimenda. You may say that the 1996 parliament was the best and still remains the best. Quality of submissions, quality of argument, quality of presentations, depth of knowledge and all of that. It didn't have to 96. In a Ghana for what's your parliament with a true proper opposition. Look, we can begin to look in some other side. Emma 2000. Yes, your fee 0 to 66 to 100 and 2,106 or 105. I may be wrong on the number. Emma further from 2000 to 2004, further appreciation. Enti there ya koma no mesna toa before me. That is not what brings a death nail on our coffin. No. Maye besi ahiankasa ya ba fafa yan ho, ya ba hihye yan ho. Ye de akomako, ye de adwunuma anu mu de ho. The political party ya ba sa ahyase ahihye yan ho. Ena enwo a ya me na dom wo yi ho a wo kegiran han na how they conduct themselves. Ekwan a wo ba fado a nhihye biara a wo de baba parliament adwunukye a wo ba kire. These are all the things which will work in your favor going into the next election. Iti mama amanfo ho akumantu amanfo ndwende eyi oyada a point of no return at all. Na market the measure there blame gaming. Emi me philosophy in yada BBC. Me share there me dey inform no kwa ka shobin. Mama obia so in yana adwin there. This is what will bring us the needed solution. Ede won sako. Ede tin obidun na nan or bawodo. Let's be measured. Obia obininji de mutumi mfi ho de. Eba kira wadwin, obia wadwin me oyo de onu na adwuma bi a wanye na adi bi a wanye nti na onam do me yekweko wie daman. I mean, we will not stop you, but let's be measured.
In the blame game?
Let's be measured. I would wish that there was not even a blame game at all.
But some people also say that who that zero what can ya obi ankaso won ho.
Kwame
na.
Yeto aba ne ye yem penfo. Yeto aba ne your man nim penfo. Obia na style. Obia nyame gba ne manadwendwen mo okọ manentase mo okọ obia na style. Once you have entrusted them with the power, na mayawo yin de ewo areshem wo homu. Se ekaya omampan na se kwa message tema obia baka. What it means is that you will be changing direction virtually every day. Because the very matter where one person is making a certain proposal, another is making completely diametrically opposite proposal. Asamna wa ba no obi chede yandaman obi so sete na. Nti say well, you need to also to listen to the people. You need to do that. But again, you are doing a balancing act. That's a bakada mo bia bakabia na kwa mrite na mo wa kan da yeduma. I am telling you, even in a day, by close of day, you get blown in the direction of the wind. It is a yet to aba mo pina, yet to aba mo bia. Nde ye wa reshem de sebe onyame aman esuhunu bi aman nyansa sonku bi a obotu wagya no waye. Enti the proposals we make, the suggestions we make, if they are not taken on board, it doesn't mean that because the person is being heard in hearing or recalcitrant in making a certain change. Let's give them that benefit of the doubt. In the circumstance, they are more or less buffeted from all sides. In leadership, everybody comes up with their something. Everybody. You get faced with all kinds of, even on a single matter, all kinds of alternatives. Woma them benefiting, young from painful. We sense on them do my wire daman. Yenyim the reasons. Yenyim sense suggestion be a year went to once sa. Biana equally. There was a good reason why our year them suggestion went to one fa. Let's be measured. Let's calm down and allow the system, and which I mean the painful. Now one for processes all the way to go, and I'm sure quickly all of that will come up, and I'm sure most of it will come up after the swearing in of the former president. Now, Kwame,
Obisimin Kancho, they tell my brother Kwame now that we all saw the writing on the wall. We did not need a researcher, but our people would not listen. They continued in self-denial. Tell Kwame as the blame game will continue.
No, I have no difficulty.
Out of it, the solution will come.
I have no difficulty.
People should be held accountable. The ground was not good. They tagged us, preached free SHS, and went on and went on and went on. If they won't accept and take responsibility, then Asem Abba, Mamelinda, strong MPP.
Angelinda, but clearly, if you also be truthful to yourself, our government had a real challenge. You go to United Kingdom, go back to 1997. Tony Blair as the leader of the New Labour. New Britain, New Labour. And then New Labour, New Britain. 1930, when he swept to power. Huge numbers. And then 10 years of leadership. Turning on the baton to Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown came and was a disaster. And then you had David Cameron come on board with huge numbers. Then eventually, with the entire world being hit by the twin issues of COVID and Ukraine, Russia. More or less like conservatives, like a decapitated party. But they are putting themselves together. On the other, things were so natural. The usual environment and incapable of performing. Actually, now let's situate it. Our government had real challenge. Real challenge.
But how did you respond to the people? That's the question it will be, sir.
But Kwame.
Real challenge, but they be Kanamusio.
Kwame.
now.
The leg of a man who always is be, and here I hear about reshuffle that the president was not giving in and continued to retain his ministers and all through and his public position that this is not the NDC that will direct us what to do in regards or with regards to my ministers. And that is his position. Maybe on hindsight, maybe he could have done something about it, but that didn't happen. That is one leg. There's the other leg, Kwame. Oh yes, Sikasam Nenshishe. And I'm saying, I'm giving you an example of United Kingdom. I'm giving you an example of United States of America. United States of America. These are incumbent parties, incumbent governments that have not been spared. Kwame, America of all places. There, Mwankasa, where Jatum there. Oh yeah, in Zamanabu. Akosra skyrocketing, and the basis of which they went to the polls and said that they needed a change. If America went through that, you think that Ghana will be spared? It's a multifaceted issue. You look at it in a global picture form, a global way, bird's eye view. You don't just take a portion there. President in Zambia, you be sent on here, Adibia on here, 1 year. All others do not count, but especially those ones are President 1 year. That will not be a true reflection of an analysis of what has happened.
Let me read about 3 more messages now. I'm coming right back to you. No this one says, I told the MPP through your Kokrokoo program that if the economy does not improve by June 2024, it will be difficult for them to win. Aside this, arrogance and show of affluence is also a factor. Bawumia unfortunately bore the brunt of the citizenry, and it hurts me because he would have transformed the economy. Eric Amponsa Boateng, tax expert. Chairman General, good morning. Ghanaians voted against the MPP not because NDC is the best in terms of nation building. It's also because of arrogance of some government appointees who decided not to listen to the party foot soldiers. Masawood in Bantama, Kumasi. Shakespeare said in Measure for Measure, quote, "Oh, it's great to have a giant's strength, but it's tyrannical to exercise it like a giant," unquote. That is the point Kabila was making about being magnanimous in the exercise of power. So I'll take it again. Shakespeare said in Measure for Measure, quote, "Oh, it's great to have a giant's strength, but it's tyrannical to exercise it like a giant," unquote. You say it's the point Kabila was trying to make about being magnanimous in the exercise of power. Kwame sends that one. And then Ben Abnori Ben says, I urge you to ignore all those attacking you because to some of us, you are the best. Abnori, good morning. Thank you. I still agree with Kwame Nadanka. Let cool heads prevail. Because could the president have answered all the over 1 million reasons why MPP lost? The battle is still the Lord's. Let's come together and Joe, Uncle Spy in Takrady. Baba Chairman in Tamale says the blame game cannot be stopped because in it we shall find a converging ground. The arrogance and blatant misbehavior of some party executives and appointees got our own people irritated. People lived larger than life upon assumption of power, and Dr. Bawumia got punished for no sin of his. 1 year of NDC is far better than 8 years of pains, humiliation, shame, thievery, and nepotism. Tell Kabila to humble himself and read the Bible, which says, in the presence of my enemies, I, the Lord, will prepare a table for you. This is a monumental disgrace to the NPP. Ghana will work again. Bob Okele in Burma camp. Kwame Duncan can tickle himself and laugh as serious apathy is the cause of this loss. 3 days to election, there was still increment in fuel prices. 2 million of our people did not go out there to vote, and you think people should stay away from the blame game? Meanwhile, they invested in the campaign and lost the election. Oti Amwakon sends that one. There's one thing we need to teach in our schools, how to be truthful. We as Ghanaians are not truthful. It's Ghana first always. J in Pokwase sends that one. And then let our politicians know there's one. What is Ghana's contribution to the world economy? Our leaders must not deceive us with world economic turmoil. 2, Mahama lost in 2016 on incompetence. Bawumia lost on economic mismanagement. Nana Usu in Atonsu. All right.
Yeah. Chairman, I think enough for that. Ma Ebakabia will be asked for an argument. Ibiara motum maye pi wo ho na sir I will continue to urge and admonish there yenya cool heads na yenhwe ma going forward mpemfo anamo a obotu a yabasan ya afa yen ho ya hyehye yen ho na ya hwe mo owohyin na kwame
na
that the former president has been elected. That is what it is.
Yes, that is what it is.
His promise is that immediately power comes into his hands, he will cancel the e-levy. He will cancel the betting tax. He will remove all the sales tax. He will remove all of them. That is what he said. That immediately power. The first thing he will do. Obin Kantuna Some. Now, Kwame.
Yes.
Already, what shall I say, ma? Excuses. This is former President Mahama. President-elect John Dramani Mahama, and where am I reading from? This is I think Usmanu Alasan, which particular media house? I think it's up there. I'll find it for you. President-elect John Dramani Mahama has sharply criticized the outgoing administration of President Nana Addo Dankwa, accusing it of leading Ghana into a severe economic abyss. Mahama emphasized the tough road, and I take these words again. Mahama emphasized the tough road ahead for his incoming government and pledged to implement crucial governance reforms aimed at tackling the nation's pressing issues. The first excuse, number 1. 2, I mean, he is also quoted by Graphic Online. Now, if you see what is there, no, so in the same tangent, in the same excuse, there, people should brace up for the economic challenges ahead of us. Question will be saying there, mana former President Mahama, when the Omampain Ekufuado na ban Sikasami Shishe Onya Akasha Bisman man because these were part of his I'm sure his victory speech.
Talking about the ABC you're mentioning, quick one here from police. The Ghana Police Service has arrested 9 suspects, in connection with the setting ablaze of the EC office at Ayen Swano in the Eastern region.
Fantastic.
So 9 people have been arrested.
Fantastic.
But Bakubiso Amihu Anope, haven't confirmed it yet, but is making the rounds, trying to confirm. But you say, Mebunubi, Ewo Winchi, have attacked the municipal police commander, leaving him severely injured, and released inmates from police custody. Metrema police for a confirmation and also near here.
They have done what?
They've attacked the police commander there and released some inmates from custody. But it's fluid now. I'll check from the police now and I'll let you know.
Wow, I pray and hope that this report is not true. Attack police posts and release inmates.
Yeah.
Under lawful custody.
Yeah.
Hey! Bema NDC was slip on my inquiry. Kwame, oye home. Oye hupa da makade. Abana ya twain, on yada, omana kasha rebels wonsemo. Baby, my young one, you papa. Well, back on track. Kwame. My baby saying there, or man paying dada. Part of his victory speech. There, the economy has been run aground, has been driven into the abyss. Oyaza, Odim Kunyimi, Oye, in the way, Anoru, and I know him dada. There, a man, this Kasam Neshishan, be my dying. Ma Mobompa, Mamma mine, the man, Opin Biara or down a man of a queen. Sanders, a man who queenima, Nimumba, when ya Asumuji, ya Asitinum, ya Abrabum, Inje. Mumpa by him. Namapeda, Mediman also to do that dumb, no moon, dumb no bessy. Now, Kwame. Indicators so far. Unfortunately, do not convince me that that is what lies ahead of us. Indicators so far. Indicators in each other. On my paying data, in this period, the leadership that I require to see of him. And the okay so there. Say Sierra, and fee our chino katina. If ye Shada wehu ada wa banadrum reflections are why Kwame all those in the last 4-5 days. Now
Obibekada is early days.
Kwame, what's our goal?
And technically speaking, he is not president.
But I agree.
In Timaikan, you are not saying anything tangible.
Kwame, well,
yeah.
Well, you may be spared on that opinion, but they say coming events
cast their shadows.
Fantastic. Again, this period is where, for want of any better explanation, this period, I'm sure the framers of the Constitution, just as in the case of the American, where the president-elect begins to give indicators of the things that if he was sworn in, he will begin to do. Even though technically you are right, you're no president, but you begin to give indicators. You begin to show that I am here. This is where we are going to go. And see, whereas technically he's not the president, Kwame, whether you like it or not, power has shifted. You agree with me?
Obviously.
Yes. Power has shifted. And therefore, his words, even though technically will not constitute the words of a president, his words carry heavy, major weight. That is what it is. Oman paying, if you spare me, it's like because of the timelines of when power must change. That is why he is still on. But I tell you that real power, real authority has shifted.
Yeah.
And see, when that has happened, you begin to give indicators. And his counterpart in America, for the last 1 week, 2 weeks, he has been doing that, giving indicators, already appointing his cabinet, appointing institutions who will head and giving tidbits of his economic policies. He's talking about already that 100% tariffs on goods coming from Canada, on goods coming from China. He's giving indicators. He's already out there showing the direction that I'm going to go. And therefore, on the basis of that, Kwame, I am right to take a measure of what lies ahead of us. I have never heard Trump speak and say that America has been driven into economic abyss. I have not heard that. Unless, of course, somebody can point that out to me. I've never heard that. So, in your president-elect, just a day after election, when all this while, making promises all over the place, all over. Akase, all over the place. And then a day after the election, or a day, is it the very day that he was declared by the Electoral Commission, which was 2 days ago? Was it on Monday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Was it Monday? Monday.
Joda. Necessarily, he is pointing us to a certain economic abyss. What is he implying? Now, Kwame, then Kabila Benye Biaka, ma Mumbo, ma Ojuwepo, Nechi, Mumfa Masam, Mumfensi Waha, that Dumbre, Ebia, say Yabokwa Lavna, Masame Yakwan,
Young Qualavin,
Yewe. Oh,
about Simbi the Pedeka.
Gender, yeah, not towards Christmas.
About Simbi the Pedeka.
Hey, Kwame, another set as a Benjamin. Do you want me to answer about Simbi? Yeah, but you see, you had a parliament that locked its doors. The speaker locked its doors. Business that needed to be carried out.
Also 16th boy.
Kwame. Say, well, the constitution may not be strictly interpreted. When the constitution under the chapter finance says that at least 1 month, also at least 1 month, which means that it may be 2 months, 3 months, but at least 1 month. The president must cause his appropriation to be laid before Parliament for them to approve, and it constitutes the spendings of state agencies. It constitutes the appropriation bill for the judiciary and all of that. At least 1 month to the end of the financial year. End of financial year is 31st. Today, what is today's date?
Today is 11th.
Is it 1 month? Isn't it less than 1 month? That has not been done. So you ask yourself, what then will be the appropriation?
Well,
is it now that they think that they have power shifted to their end, that they will feel obliged now to go to Parliament? That we have been told that the speaker in all of this was transacting business. He using his position to transact, as we have been told by Amidu, transactional speaker. That in the event that they are successful, he is retained. Is it now that his transaction has seen the light of day, that is now going to open Parliament? That other equally important matters, that for NDC, on yet Oman ne kanko, Oman ne shishe, za enwo wadwonyo shetekaboma, za oboshe wabwo as NDC. But you said no more things to be discussed. So these are just the teasers of teasers of what, if you had allowed me, I was going to go. But to end on this matter, Kwame, Oman paying Dada Emi Kwame Duncan. Matna na membasi, Matnasi. I've lived under his presidency, his leadership. I pray that he is now a changed former president. I pray, and I want to hope for the better. Whilst my heart wishes to do that, Kwame, clearly, from all the empirical facts and evidence, my mind is simply not permitting me. But I want to see my mind shamed in the years ahead of us. Let me take a rest here.
Taking a rest, Kwame na Duncan, twa Jume Dino. So, this one says, Afari from Tadisco down, Kwame, COVID, Russia, Ukraine was a major problem. But we should eat humble pie that this humiliating defeat could have been prevented if there was a change in the attitude of the president, his appointees, and party leadership. They never listened to us. Afari Tadisco down, and a day and no ebaim. And then Dr. Yao Asamoah Sewuti me baby Awobia anope Yechia Dr. Yao Asamoah, belated wishes to you. You are out there at the Department of Geography, University of Education, Winneba. AK, why not, which not? Yesterday was yours, so we wish you well. I don't want to believe that institutions of state are made up of people who are anti-government in heart, who devilishly increase petrol in the morning on the day of elections. Are we safe? Coming events cast their shadows. Uncle Spy in Takrade. Attacking, ransacking, looting, and or banning some state agencies doesn't form part of the resetting agenda. The NDC supporters are creating the necessary environment to pull down, construct, and furnish through new contracts, building the new Ghana we want. Fred A. Agona Swedro Enede and no Ebai. Kwara?
Rapidly.
Young Pome.
Me pese me di bibi ma eye minua pani kwamna ene na manyuku for se eye bra ese se potokasa mu mo ko reflect, rethink and refocus.
This is incongruous.
Na in doing so, no
Dog
mumusa mo ho se mama nyuku New Patriotic Party no aso said ye tinei eti said ye na eti between 92 2009 it said ye na eti 2001 to 2008 nana na mo dwene ho no akwa bi obema bi a manka ne ye owura bi e friend no Rudyard Kipling
or say ending
no, South Africa. In fact, he's even accused of being a racist. But Outro, poem B, 1895. Title near If you can keep your head whilst all around you are turning theirs and blaming it on you. One kind of poem no. Na mufani komo enchemo. Sa na mesre ama mampani dada yatsa to aba ma no mprempren say January 7 omega na mampani biom His Excellency John Dramani Mahama one amanyukuo NDC me ofa se dun ketia ne da no Madam Fifi Kwete ne General Secretary say womo soso womo nkai say ye wokasa bi se opam ohufo a oto ne bema na omo so poem ma me de ma omo Max Ehrman poem bi ochoye wato ne din Desiderata 1927 na kwame ye nyina ye nkai se man na ye chichire me bowo nkaye se ne ekosi eye bibia eye order bi e call ya me say yenye counter order tawanjena tie ka say
me tie
quote I was hoping that the EC chairperson, that is Jim Mensah, was going to resign yesterday. we ought to reset the EC and delete all the partisans who are in there. And she, Jean Mensa herself, has displayed enormous prejudice and bias towards the NDC. She should go, and I think she ought to respect herself and leave. Unquote.
Where is this from?
Miami Nyaba Joyce Mokhtar Bawa.
Away.
In fact, Joyce Bawa Mokhtar. And one Umaru Sanda Amadou. Edin Komo.
No, sorry.
The link in the Sunday Kwame. It's on YouTube right now.
Are you sure?
And Kwame, I am privy to one more chats, one more mails, one more group chats as well. Their target is the Supreme Court. Chairman General, I'm telling you that sa order na ko ye no, woman ye counter order. If he said the omo ye no, oh my God, Kwame, obi ni mo bi ba bi o, o pambo hunfo a, o tuni bema. Na me kami
also on YouTube.
Yes.
Any other can meet you?
Opa me the address in Bema. HTTPS colon. Me Kaimini about Joyce Bawa Mukhtar say. Jimans are now ye EC chairperson. No ye IEA Kwame Okai.
That's when you know.
When is that IEA no mama NDC na manyuku ahudo nyinaska.
Well, no more support you in various ways.
And now almost joined in fact the political parties program. Kwame is na IEA hono na Jimens awa mampanida da awanya ni baby called John Evans Satamils or pointing the man ko ye a member of the Emeritus Professor Fiajo Constitutional Review Commission.
Yeah.
Member. Kwame Unim say Professor Mills be president 2009 on 2 different occasions his first 2 State of the Nation addresses or isolated IEA e bo mo abaso Chairman Jim Mensa whatever it is, you know, kwanya oye EC chairperson se waye bibi anase wantu anamo bi ya Chairman General me take kasa bia yesi mampani dada oye president elect kaye ena mbisa me hu se aso eyam pase or say or the adwin section bi na eba bi wana. What was it? To use the phrase or the statement, a table was set before my enemies. Who are the enemies? The chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Kwame Okaisa me catch a few days one must say, nobody can go against the true will of the people when they have exercised it to elect a president who has been vindicated. Mo no say obi betumi arege elections. Say obiara ntimi enwia bamu wo ha Ghana ha and get away with it. Why na you vindicated, Chamanje? Anyway, na the message nyina ne say yenhwe yi na ye wo man chichire.
Ni Imbachona says the poem mentioned by Kabila, If, by Rudyard Kipling, is one of my favorites. I was taught in middle form 1. Ni Imbachona just you did formal. And then some of Brian Boabing says she said it live on TV. Kabila is right.
Okay.
They mentioned the EC and Supreme Court.
Thank you.
They said they will sack a lot of judges. And this one says what Kabila is saying is true. Sam George has been seen making all kinds of statements. He said the Supreme Court should be ready. They are coming after them because the Supreme Court has no control over Parliament. Anyway.
Kwame.
Yeah, Kwame, meet you.
Yeah, elections. I'll be so disappointed. Say police for anya investigations into wild allegations be a Miami senior, I mean. Or on elections day.
Said
they had found 500,000 ballot papers somewhere. I'm TV, no name papa. And I'm say,
police investigation.
Well, they should investigate it.
In this?
Were there ballot papers?
Oh, Kabila.
Oh, Minister, me pacho. Look, at the heart of this matter is the credibility of our electoral process. I am passé. Now you want ballot. It was reported in the media. I am passé near what ballot papers, genuine, authentic. Ballot papers, 500,000 in volume, and a good baby. As a me kwabra bon fe nankama ko manya sa genuine ballot papers na me pese me didi bonia me man down unguarded in an abandoned warehouse or whatever it is. No be akwakofa. The police should investigate that matter. Oh, minister, don't laugh. Kwame, who can say minister because say yeah take no police for call investigation no it proved that onana twituo I shoot you into his car from inside. Do you remember that incident?
Yeah, I remember the minister.
Kwame, we need to expose certain things.
Obisi Kwame, let me also remind you that it is the same IEA and Jean Mensah that drafted and sponsored the Presidential Transitions Act, which is guiding our transition today.
Thank you.
The same Jean Mensah.
That's the Jean Mensah they call whatever names today. Ghana for now. Kwame, what? Now you see. Kwame, Charlotte Osei was appointed by who?
John Dramani Mahama.
Who declared Akufo-Addo president?
Charlotte Osei.
Jean Mensah was appointed by who?
Adodankwa Akufo-Addo.
Miniaba Joyce, if this is not teaching you any lesson about our electoral system and you want to take this line, you are disappointing us. Kwame,
Kabila.
catch your money say, Opam Umfua, Otunebema. No, my Ghana na ye chicheno. Chairman General.
Kwame Apnema.
Mapan Epedeke Bibia. Kwabne.
Maybe I don't know. Media, my discernment say, on my way, I'm on your some na ye no. Ye wa manyukuo. And ye walk one umswa any manyukumu. Multi-party democracy na ye choose ye no. E can be so say, me met me aka say amanyukuo, me don bia, and so much chema gain, babia, yen toaba no fanko. And I did that in 2024. Minya manyukuo biamu. And Kwame, I have no regrets. Say minya manyukuo biamu. And I'm proud that I chose to support His Excellency, the Vice President, in his attempt to become president. No. Wanya.
He will become one day.
Well, one day I said, I'm talking about 2024. Kwame.
Yeah.
Former President Mahama, who is now president-elect, will have my support to run the country if he's doing it well. But I can also assure him, as I have done in previous times, Kwame, oyena wanye ni ya, kwabra bonfe, meka, eno dia, mini minya mintemwa, and ma share me my bo. I will not deny myself the charge I have to keep. And indeed, a charge to keep I have. I will hold it dearly and keep it well. Yeah, we are no. Kwame, me also say be a baby man son of
No,
but me Magana
I won't be here.
Yeah, you may
He won't be here next week. But next week now you near appear pan.
Kwame, me Magana for nyina ammo. Mesre say asumdua nyame aboa ye amayanya. Ne kwanya ofasuma nsunyunu egu obia so, both winners and losers alike. Yem first year dey free. Na wiase mu ade a ya pa ne say ye bema ye wura afi na ye nkai na ye nsua bibia eno ene de edi nya se oman moma ye nkai se ye nsom ene nipa.
Medas say Dan Ochre from Ga East Hospital. Dan says it looks as if our security system has slowed down. They should have anticipated the post-election violence and dealt with it. Ghanaians should grow up from this behavior. Dan Ochre, Ga East Hospital. Now, Jay says, I'm 71 years old and my nickname is Kipling. It's been my nickname since the year 1970. Wow. 71-year-old since 1971.
I suspect he was an avid
he probably was
reciter of that poem.
A literature student, maybe.
Middle school. Middle school.
Middle school. And easy. Ghanaians voted for NDC based on their campaign promises. Let's wait and see if they can reset Ghana as they promised. King Dollar in Kaswa sense that JC Boaku says MPP lost both in presidential and parliamentary woefully. The underlining words are disrespectful, arrogance, and not giving opportunity to hardworking patriots. We must learn our lesson. JC Boaku says, marketing expert, NAD and buyer. And this one says Kipling was simply a realist. Okay, thank you very much, Nee. In Bachelor. Maybe about 1 minute. I watched a sermon by Pastor Eastwood Anaba after the elections, and I think everybody, especially political actors, need to watch. He said those whose party have lost should note that it's not the end of life.
Yeah.
And those who have won should take note that it doesn't mean all their problems will be solved.
Exactly.
Kwesi Reynolds in Aguna Odobing. Yes, Kabila no Kabibi.
Kwame na me kan bibi natural.
Yeah.
Osajefo Oliver Baka Vomawo. Please, where is the copy of the petition to remove the chairperson of the Electoral Commission?
Right, sir.
Need to add a few cents. Franklin Kujo. Kwame.
I didn't know no person under the anyway.
Well, but you see, Kwame, you know he worked with her at IE.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Kwame, my last words.
What goes round comes round.
My last words. I can only wish the NDC and the former president well, but let them be assured that the next 4 years, when God continues to give us life, the next 4 years, we will be here. I want to emphasize the last words.
Me too.
We will be here.
God willing.
God willing. And that's it.
James Kwabena Bonfe AK Kabila and Kwamna Duncan and Etiomonka Anope. Thank you so very much for joining us, especially thank you for joining us by ear, voice, text, and eyes. And your program could be NTA. And then this one says, happy birthday to you, Mrs. Deborah Tekbe. Oh, Mrs. Tekbe. It says, birthday blessings to you, Mrs. Deborah Tekbe, from your dear husband, Mr. Tekbe, former finance minister, and also from Mrs. Hannah Aisen of Kate's Haven, Montessori. Wishing you God's blessings, Auntie Deborah. Wishing the whiskey, Drew Wameno of Oscar Mac Boutique, Edu, from Kenneth of Hello FM. Wrapping up this morning's edition. Here we go. Maintina asume fidie tutu. Maintina na mabosum so ejai. Kofi Kumberson is next on your radio. The next year's broadcast is at 12. May your day be blessed. As always, keep your dreams and hopes alive. It's all you have. And hey, when you stop to say a prayer, remember to say one for me too. God bless. Good morning.